Hey everybody, this is Mitch DeVries with May Group Realtors at Remax of Grand Rapids. I'm coming here today to chat a little bit about Billy Bear Hug. It's a nonprofit organization. One of the things that our team is doing is just trying to help the community during this pandemic. And this is one of the ways that we're going about it. And today I have Charlie Wondergem here. He is are you one of the founders of Billy Bear Hug?
Co-founders and then a board member.
Okay, founder and board member, Charlie Wondergem. They do some awesome things. Hey, Charlie, can you just give us a little bit of a background information on what you guys do?
Yeah, so we were started in 2011 in memory of my older brother who passed unexpectedly just before he was supposed to head to medical school. So one of the things Billy was really passionate about was kind of bridging his, knowledge of science with really just trying to help people, and specifically kids. He wanted to ultimately become a pediatric oncologist. In addition to doing cancer research at the Van Andel Institute, was volunteering his free time at the Children's Hospital here in Grand Rapids. And so, when we lost him, we were brainstorming of what could we do to keep his impact alive. In his short life of 24 years, he had amazingly, discovered a rare gene that, published all this work and research, one of the few non-PhDs to publish his research in the Journal of Cancer Research, and was excited about his future career. And so we wanted this to be a living, breathing organization where people who may not have known him would still come to know him and the impact that he led. And so that led us to the creation of Billy Bear Hug. The initial kind of light bulb went off when I went back to school. I had to take some exams after his memorial service, and some friends had gone out at my college and gone to Build a Bear workshop and made a bear for me to bring me that comfort, that security. Yeah. Here I am at the age of 19, sitting in my dorm room with a teddy bear on my lap. Who would have thought? But it kind of started that idea of, with all this great medicine out there, there's still something missing for kids and for families that go through that. It's such a traumatic time. Of course, their childhood is stolen from them. A lot of times they can't be around other kids because they're immune deficient. Which is we're getting all of us are getting a little bit of a glimpse into what that reality looks like right now. So there's a lot of loneliness when these kids are going through something so significant like that. So that led us to the creation of Billy Bear. We distribute these teddy bears to kids in the children's hospitals and hospice programs. We've grown our partnerships over the years, but our primary partners are Bronson Children's Hospital, DeVos Children's Hospital, Hospice of Michigan, Metro Health, and their pediatric program, Ronald McDonald House, and a number of others, a number of other community partners. And we really we're guided by our mission of giving the cure of comfort, is what we call it to these kids. So through these bears and through these care packages that we send to them, it's not huge, it's not big, but I'll tell you, when you hear from the families, it does mean something to them that there's other people out there that care about what they're going through. The other thing that we've started over the last 6 or 7 years is what we call our Youth Advisory Board program. So it's a service learning professional development program for West Michigan high school students. So gives them a meaningful outlet for service and to give back to their community, but at the same time, they get exposure to different potential career paths for after high school, and we get them out in the community to meet with business leaders and medical professionals and all sorts of different things, but importantly, give them the opportunity to take on real world hands-on projects, things they're not necessarily getting in the classroom. That complements that education. So that's just the nuts and bolts of who we are.
That's awesome. And I mean, you guys have grown dramatically over the years. I mean, it's you guys have been able to help so many children. Do you have a number of how many bears you've sent out over the course of the years, or have you not kept it?
If I had to estimate now, we're probably up to distributing about anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 annually.
Okay.
So have definitely grown at a good clip as we've added new partners, and as of course our support base has grown. We have an incredible community here in West Michigan and elsewhere that has just really surrounded what we're doing, and I think the mission really resonates with people. Just something so simple as a bear and a nice message, and just walking, coming up and walking alongside people in what can be a difficult and trying time.
Absolutely. And you mentioned it already. I mean, I think people can kind of start to relate a little bit. I mean, obviously can't totally relate to what these kids are going through with our isolation and our stay inside order that we're going through. I think everybody, I'd love to have a bear show up at my house right now too. So I mean,
we can arrange that, Mitch. We can arrange that.
Probably. And so, going into these last, few weeks that we've experienced, how has the COVID-19 had an impact on you guys, and what does this kind of look like for your future?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, aside from just the general economy, I think everything, any nonprofit right now is wrestling with the question of, okay, going forward, as we come out of this, how does this impact our support, our donations? It's of course a question that we're asking ourselves. But I think importantly, out of an abundance of caution, we've pressed pause on any new deliveries. Of course, we don't want to be a source of additional problem right now. So we have communicated to our partners and really mutually agreed. I think everyone understands the situation that we're all going through, and it's unprecedented. But we've not been making any new deliveries to any of our partners right now, just given what's going on, and just to keep everyone safe and healthy. But luckily, I think all of our partners are still well stocked. So these kids that are in the hospital, because unfortunately, even with a pandemic like this, other illnesses don't take a break. So kids are still getting bears, and actually just before we all went into lockdown, we were able to. Billy Bear was the sponsor of the monthly Project Nightlights event at the Children's Hospital. It brings all the community members come out and come out on the sidewalks and surround the Children's Hospital and flash their flashlights up at the Children's Hospital, and the kids are in their rooms flashing back. So each patient received what we call a Cub Kit care package that had a Billy Bear, a flashlight, light up blue Billy Bear branded glow stick. And so you looked up at the hospital and there were all these blue sticks, and everyone out in the streets had them as well. So that was one pretty cool thing we were able to do before this virus, continued its grip on the community.
Yeah, I just got chills when you were just telling about that. I mean, what an amazing, and I'm sure magical experience for the families and also the children that are going through that, and knowing the support of the community that has for these children too.
Yeah, it seems small, but I was walking with a couple of our high school students as we were leaving, and there was a parent that he was a little shy. He didn't necessarily want to say something to us, but he saw our shirts on, and then he came up to us and he said, I just want to thank you guys for what you're doing. It might seem small, but it means the world to us. Our son's upstairs here being treated, and when we received your package this morning, it brought me to tears. So I just really want to thank you for what you're doing. It means the world to have the support of the community around us during this time. So when you hear that directly from parents and from patients, and there's a whole lot of stories like that we have, that's what keeps us doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. That's just the fuel of the fire of continuing what you guys are doing. And I hope that, for everybody's sake, this whole COVID-19 starts to settle down, but so that you guys, but you guys can go back to work and go back to supporting these kids that really need it, especially during a time Like,
Yeah, and the only other thing that we're doing right now, Mitch, is, since we can't be in there in the hospital with them like we normally are, because typically we'll go in and we'll have a party for the kids every other month or so. We're going to be launching something on our social media tonight that has a message with this big bear here is featured in it, and we're going to be inviting the community to post in the comment section their own message of hope and positivity for the kids. Since we can't be in there with them right now, we still want to come around them and support them from afar.
How can people view that and see that? What social media pages is it on? Facebook or Instagram?
It's going to be both on our Facebook and our Instagram. It's going live tonight around 7 or 8, and so the bear is holding a message, a poster that we made with a message that our high schoolers developed, and we'll be inviting folks to post in the comment section of both of those their own message for the kids, and then we're going to take all those messages and create a digital poster that we send out to all of our community partners so that they can get that to the kids, since we can't all be there with them in person.
That's awesome. Well, I will definitely be looking at that, and then also supporting them with my own comments later tonight. So I'm glad that we're having this interview right now, so that
absolutely.
This is awesome. So how can the community help you guys during a time like this? I know you guys aren't bringing any bears to the children right now, but hopefully this is just temporary. I've browsed on you've guys got a website, which I'll post a link to that. Can they support through donations through your website or
Yep. Yep. There's an option to donate online. And again, what we say is, for just $10, you can put a bear in the arms of a child. And so, that's of course one way. Another way is just posting your own, as I mentioned, posting your own message of support for the kids. That's the biggest thing right now is isolation is a huge problem, as we're all experiencing. And we just want to make sure that these kids' spirits are still lifted as they're going through the things that they're going through. Mm-hmm. And then when the world gets back to normal, we're always looking for school groups or offices, places of work, teams to do either a teddy bear drive of new teddy bears. We've done teddy bear tosses at different sporting events. So there's all sorts of different ways to get involved. A toy drive, perhaps, instead of, some people prefer that to just writing a check. And we have all different ways of getting involved once we, of course, get through this current situation.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be we're all hoping and praying that that happens soon. But Charlie, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time. If you have anything else that you'd like to share with everybody, I think that this has been a very valuable for myself, and as well as the community to learn about this awesome thing that's happening right in Grand Rapids.
No, appreciate the opportunity to share our story. That's of course how we get the support that we do here in West Michigan. So appreciate you setting this up. I don't know that I have anything else to share other than let's just continue to stay positive and we're in this together. So
absolutely. Well, cool. Well, Charlie, good luck tonight, and I will be watching. I'll be commenting, and so we'll touch base more in the future. And take care, man.
Sounds great. Thanks, Mitch.
All right. See ya.